Aloha mai kākou o keia o Lokelani a I loko o keia vikio e wehe ana wau ia oi e pili ana ke kahi kamaʻilio ana ma waina me koʻu mama a me aʻu. I'm going to share with you in this video about a little conversation that I had between myself and my mom I ke kalaiwa ana I ka halawai I ka pone on the way to the meeting last night. So let me say that again, Makolelo Hawaii, and then you can hear it. Makolelo Hawaii. Aloha mai kākou o keia o Lokelani. I keia vikio e wehe ana wau ia oi e pili ana ke kamaʻilio ana ma waina o koʻu mama a me iaʻu I ka hele ana I ka halawai I ka pōnei. No ka mea, ua hoʻomaʻamaʻa ʻoia, ua hoʻomākaukau ʻoia, kala mai, ua hoʻomākaukau ʻoia I kāna pane no ka halawai, ea? E like me kākou. E hoʻomākaukau kākou I nā pane no ka halawai, no leila ua ninau wau iaia, o e hoʻike mai I ko pane no ka halawai, and ʻaʻole ʻoia make e hoʻike iaʻu I kona pane. ʻAʻolelo ʻoia, ʻaʻole wau make e hoʻike ia ʻoe. ʻAʻole hiki ke hoʻololi. ʻAʻole make e hoʻololi, ua hana wau. Okay, so basically on our way to the meeting, I was like, hey, show me your answer for the meeting. And she was like, oh, I don't want to show it to you. I ain't going to show it to you. It's done. It's done. I'm not changing it, right? So then I was like, Mom, come on, we're in the car, we have 20 minutes, like just show it to us, because of course you don't want to say something that's super wrong, just show it to us, easy. So she's like, okay, fine. So she has her comments, and she had 2 comments prepared, and one of them had to do with about Jehovah being the king of eternity. So her answer, she read it to us in Hawaiian, and if you ever do that, if you ever read your answer to somebody in Hawaiian, they're probably going to tell you, what are you trying to say in English? Because we're trying to figure it out, but it's always easier if the person doesn't know exactly how to say it to let us know what they're saying in English. So she said, she's trying to say, we don't know, we don't know, but Jehovah has always been here and Jehovah will be here forever. Okay? So let me ask you, how would you create that comment if you wanted to say, we don't know. We don't know the deal. We don't know why that's the situation. Yeah, we don't know what's up. We don't know how come. We don't know how. But Jehovah has always been here and he will always be here forever. So what we have to do is we have to kind of take her thought here, because when you're creating answers or you're trying to create answers for yourself, and this also happens in conversation, but let's just begin with answers, because it's actually easier to work with answers than conversations. Because when you're in a conversation with somebody, you just feel totally lost and there's no time to go into this figuring out. But when you're preparing answers for yourself, you can go through this figuring out process. So she was like, I don't know, that's what I'm trying to say. He we don't know why, but he's always been and he always going to be. So I was like, okay, the first thing we have to do is we have to figure out what exactly you want to say in English. And this is the number one mistake that everybody makes when they're trying to make comments, or even when they're trying to converse, which is why the words get so stuck, is that we try to immediately go into Hawaiian when we don't even really know what we're trying to say in English. Now, why is it so important to know exactly what you're trying to say in English before going into Hawaiian? It's when you know what you're saying in English that you'll be able to choose the patterns that you're going to use in Hawaiian. Now, what happens when we miss this middle spot where we just got the idea of what we're trying to say and we go straight into Hawaiian? What happens is we end up pulling the words we're trying to say and just throwing the words together in a bowl and then throwing it in there and saying, okay, that's my comment, right? Or that's what I'm trying to say. Because we don't even really know what we're saying in English exactly. Therefore, we're unable to translate it and choose the correct patterns on this side. So when she was like, okay, and then so let's come back to my mom's comment. She was like, yeah, Jehovah has, we don't know why, but Jehovah has always been and will always be. So the first part of the comment she had down, it was, A'ole maupopo kākou. Aole ike kako, aole, like we could say it in a lot of different ways, but what my mom had was aole maupopo kako. So that's more kaka. It's clear. We don't understand or we don't know. So whichever way she found it, awesome, she got that. And that is clear. Aole maupopo kako. That is a clear aole pattern for maupopo. It means we don't know or we don't understand. So she had that. So that was my ka'i. And then what happened was she was reading it. Yeah, she was like, ole maupopo kako. Because she's reading the words on a paper, right? So I was like, Mom, nana mai, vala'o mai. How do you say we don't know? And she knows this. Mind you, my mom, I just tell you something. She actually took a 101 Hawaiian language class at UH. So she took a UH 101 Hawaiian, HAW 101. She knows these things. But what we're working for is the crossover. So I looked at her, I said, Mom, look at me. Vala'o mai, nana mai. How do you say we don't know? Then she just looked at me and she said, ole maupopo kako. So it was way easier for her to look at me and say it because she knew it. But when she looked at the paper, then it got her a little confused. I'm not saying that everybody should do it this way, but I am saying that there's a part of our brain that once we start actually understanding certain things, if we give ourselves some time, we can say it. So I said, Mom, vala'o mai, olelo mai, how do you say we don't know? She was like, ole maupopo kako. So I was like, that's more kaka, right on. We will all understand that. Hawaiian language speakers will understand that. And I said, but? Then she said, aka, because she knew what but was. So she said, aka. So I said, tell me that whole thing. So why don't you say it with me? Vala'o mai. We don't know, but. What is it? Aole maupopo kako, aka. And it was the second part, right? What did she had? She had, oh, Jehovah has always been here and will always be here. So that might be a little hard to translate exactly. Okay, so let me just explain this. Like translating that exactly, translating anything exactly from English to Hawaiian gets a little tricky. We can definitely translate we all don't know or we don't know. But oh, he has always been here and he will always be here. That English thought can actually be changed into another English thought that's easier to translate. I will say it again. Many times, the English thought that we are used to can be changed to an English thought that is easier to translate over. In English, we don't even have to think about it. We're so used to the way we speak when we comment that all of those words just come out. But now that we're making the change into Hawaiian, when we're switching it over, sometimes we actually have to take that English thought, which is Jehovah has always been and he will always be, and we need to switch it over to a thought that is more easily translatable into Hawaiian. And in some cases, we'll be able to fit a pattern that you currently know if you're trying to do it yourself. So, Jehovah has always been and will always be. What could that be translated to in English? What do you think? Think about it. Jehovah has always been and Jehovah will always be. Try say it out loud. In English, what could that possibly be translated into? What does that mean? What does that mean? Jehovah has always been and will always be. That's very English. But what does that really mean? There's a simple thought it could be translated into. It means Jehovah is forever. Now that, my friend, can be easily translated over into a mana'o Hawaii, olelo Hawaii. It can be easily translated over into olelo Hawaii. So now I said, Mom, I told Mom, okay, and I gave that to her. I'm not gonna expect her to know how to change the mana'o. That's not easy. So I said, Mom, Jehovah has always been and will always be actually means he's forever. Then she was like, oh yeah, okay, he's forever. So I said, what pattern does that fall into? And she has again gone to Olelo 101 at the UH. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what pattern that is. You actually learned it, but I didn't do a video on it yet because it's going to be a long video. But you learned it. And this pattern is 101 pattern, my friends. 101. Easy. the pattern is the he pattern. Is a, are, were, have a, was a. Is a, are, were, have a, was a. So he is forever is like he is Hawaiian. And even though there's no is a there, it still falls into the he pattern. That's the only one that you will not literally hear the a, but it is a he pattern. So he is Hawaiian. I am Hawaiian. How do you say I am Hawaiian? Bala'au mai. Say it out loud. I am Hawaiian. How do you say I am Christian? Bala'au mai. I am Christian. How do you say I am Jehovah Witness? Bala'au mai. Okay, so how do you say again? I am Hawaiian. He Hawaii au. He Hawaii au. Say it with me. Okay. How do you say I am Christian? Hanaho. Meka leo nui. I am Christian. Meka leo nui. I am a Jehovah Witness. Vala'au mai. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Vala'au mai. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Vala'au mai. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. The words is he na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Me. Hanaho. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Vala'au mai. Say it again. Na ho'ike o Yehovah. Now say it all yourself. I'll do the thing for you. Vala'au mai. Hanaho. Vala'au mai mea'u. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Vala'au me ka leo nui. Leo nui, come on. Puka that thing out. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. He na ho'ike o Yehovah au. Mai ka'i. Okay. So, how do you say, if you say, let's come back simple, let's go back to I am Hawaiian. He Hawaii au. How do you say I am forever? How would you say I am forever? Try it. Vala'au mai. Forever is mauloa. Vala'au mai. I am forever. He mauloa au. He mauloa au. He mauloa au. I forever. I am forever. So how would you say Jehovah is forever? Vala'au mai. Pehea oi. E olelo aku ai. Jehovah is forever. You would begin it with a. Okay, did you say he? He. Mauloa o Yehovah. He mauloa o Yehovah. He mauloa o Yehovah. Jehovah is forever. So now let's do the whole comment. The whole comment was, we don't know why. We don't know. But Jehovah is forever. Okay. Try. Hoa'o. We don't know. But Jehovah is forever. Okay, vala'au mea'u. A ole mau popo kako. A ka he mauloa o Yehovah. Hanaho. A ole mau popo kako. A ka he mauloa o Yehovah. Hanaho. A ole mau popo kako. A ka he mauloa o Yehovah. Hanaho. O oi. A oia. Hanaho. A ole mau popo kako. A ka he mauloa o Yehovah. Let's do it one last time and you do it meka leo nui. Say it loud. Come on. Ready? A oia. Mahalo nui. Maika iloa. So that is how, I hope this helped. That's how we created a comment. I'm actually going to go into that second comment that we had. And the second comment had to do with the genealogies. Now, the question is, why did they not get involved in the genealogies, or why did they not get, the answer was they shouldn't have gotten distracted. The question was, why did Paul warn Timothy against paying attention to the genealogies? So I started with what her answer was. So she kind of read it, and then that one was like, oh, okay, that one is hot already for the beginning. I couldn't understand anything. It was in Hawaiian. So I was like, okay, Ma, what you trying to say in English, yeah? What you trying to say in English? So I was like, okay. She tried to say like, the Bible she wanted to say the Bible shows that Jesus is the Messiah. Yeah, that's she got it really simple thought, yeah. She didn't go all into flowery. She was like, because she knows she got to keep it simple in order for her to translate it to Olelo Hawaii. So it was, the Bible shows Jesus is the Messiah. Or maybe she had said something else, but I helped her bring it into that. Okay, so how would you translate that? There's two different thoughts, right? There's two different thoughts in that comment. The Bible shows that Jesus is the Messiah. Where are the two different thoughts? The Bible shows that Jesus is the Messiah. Those are the two thoughts. So you're going to unuhi, the Bible shows, and you're going to put it together with Jesus is the Messiah. So what now the Bible shows? What pattern is that? Did you say verb? The Bible shows. Show is action. It's a show pattern. It's an action pattern. So how do you say show mako olelo Hawaii? Did you say ho'ike? If you did, right on. Ho'ike. What's next? Ho'ike. Ho'ike vo. Aole. Ho'ike oya. Aole. Ho'ike oi. Aole. I'm not showing. He's not showing. She's not showing. Who's doing the showing? Who's doing the ho'ikeing? The Bible. So how do you do that? Wala omay. Ho'ike. Who's doing the showing? What's doing the showing? The Bible. How do you say the Bible? Mekaleo nui. So say this together. Hanaho. If you don't want to know what this means, I'm asking you to say ho'ike ka paipala. Ho'ike ka paipala. The Bible shows Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the Messiah. That thought can literally be translated over to Hawaiian because it fits a pattern. You are going to learn this pattern in this coming papa, but many of you have already learned this pattern. I'm going to explain to you something. Many of you in our papa know all of these patterns because these are all 101 patterns. That is it. 101 basic patterns. But the issue is you have never used the patterns in your real life, in your olelo. So that is what we're endeavoring to help you to do here. So Jesus is the Messiah. Hey sentences are isa, ara, wera, hava, waza. So is there a is-a in the sentence? No. Jesus is a Messiah? No. It is Jesus is the Messiah, which makes it a. Do you know what pattern it is? If you know what it is, I'll give you a chance to tell me right now. Which pattern is it? It is an O pattern. And the O pattern is also known as an equational pattern. Maybe he did cover that. I think he touched on it just a little. We didn't go into group with it. He did touch on it. So equational sentences simply mean that one side of the sentence means the exact same as the other side. So in this case, Jesus, the Messiah, is the same thing. Jesus is the Messiah, same thing. She is his wife, same thing. There's a lot of different O's. I'm not going to teach O's right now, but I'm going to just show you how we brought this answer together. So my mother does know O sentences because she took 101 at UH, and she's also taken classes here and there. So, but she's never brought it together. She's never brought it together in her real life and her real level. So I said, okay, Ma, I can give you the pattern. It's O. She said, oh, it's O, because she started with hey. I said, hey, this not one is a. This is the Messiah. I said, Ma, how you say that? So it goes O Yesu, the Messiah. Hanaho, the Messiah. How do you say the Messiah? Ka Messiah. So how do you say Jesus is the Messiah using an O? Hanaho. Hanaho. Okay. O Yesu ka Messiah. Same. Hanaho. O Yesu ka Messiah. Same. Hanaho. O Yesu ka Messiah. Like. Ho'omaka makinohi, which is the Bible shows that Jesus is the Messiah. Walao mai. Like. Hanaho. I'll do it with you. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Hanaho. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Same. Hanaho. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Walao mai meka normal olelo. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Hanaho. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Hanaho meka leo nui mea'u. Kaua, olelo kaua. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. Walao oe. A oya. Hanaho. Hanaho. Say it loud one more time. Okay. Olelo kaua. Ho'ike ka paipala o Yesu ka Messiah. The Bible shows that Jesus is the Messiah. So I wanted to do this quick video for you to show you how we used it in real life situation. You are doing amazing. Keep